It's time! It's time! It's JFW time!
What's up, everybody?
Yes, Turtle. Apparently our song does have more than 45 seconds. Who knew? Real quick, just if everyone can tell me they can hear me okay. And we could get started because we're finding out that, oh, thanks, Nubby. Find out that 2 hours is just sometimes not enough to get everyone on and talking, but, we seem to have a lot of people joining up, so thank you for being here, especially this early. Getting Nubby in here. Talk to him a little bit about high voltage, and then we can talk about the main card and get some of you guys on here and everything. I know Apex wanted to come on. Obviously, Aaron, Xavier, and Angel are going to be on because it wouldn't be.
They do.
Well, it wouldn't be a live stream without them. That'd be nutty. You know, you got an opportunity to put a champ on a live stream. You put a champ on the live stream.
Yeah, I'm already on, though. So
right? Congratulations on retaining your title yesterday against Toretto.
Man, that was a tough one. I'm not going to lie.
Right. Well, you know, it's what makes your title run different than Freiberg's. Because first off, you're doing it on your own, which is fantastic. Good for you. But also you're getting challenges and stuff, man. I mean, come on now. You fought Scott Spade last month. Who books you against Scott Spade for your first title defense of high voltage? Sounds like a monster.
Yeah, big monster. You're learning from the best.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, guys, we'll kind of keep our eyes on the chat and everything during the show. Pacman is not here today. He's off doing superstar stuff. So we'll keep an eye on it and everything and try to respond to what we can. Nubby, I guess I'll start with you while you're on.
Sure.
I don't really want to talk too much about your title match and everything because we saw that you won. Fantastic. I'm more curious on the run-in you did to help out VJ on Feast or Famine.
Oh, okay.
I guess I just want to know why.
Well, it's obvious. Returning the favor. BJ came to save me. I mean, yeah, he got beat up a little bit at Steam Hollow, but I noticed that it wasn't exactly all the torture killers, there, because I wasn't there, and I just saw an opportunity, but I didn't come alone. I know better.
You brought nunchucks, brother.
I did. I wasn't about to, let Miss Kendo stick, take liberties, and I know how to block that with the nunchucks. So, yeah, I was prepared. I was watching.
Yeah, I mean, it does. I guess it does make sense, especially like with last month with your match with Scott Spade and Logan Steele, Kazio interfering in the matchup and everything. Luckily, you did have help with because it was VJ, Amazon, and Chaos.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that luckily you were out there, to get in there, and it shows people that the high voltage champion isn't just a high voltage guy. That if something happens on the main card, you're there to help out.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna be like one of those guys, defend my title and then just go away. And I'm not gonna just sit there and let the torture killers take over.
Yeah. Well, and that's an interesting thought because we listened to Scott Spade talk with Steve. I think it was after Steele's match with VJ. Where they're coming in, they're not really they don't care about wins and losses and all that stuff, but they're more focused on destroying and hurting people and everything like that. Which I mean, I understand it. I mean, it was no secret. They mentioned the same thing in the video we saw, like right before WrestleTopia. They're not there to win; they're there to hurt people. And they're big dudes. They're mentally unstable dudes. So it wouldn't surprise me that they're only there to hurt people. And I don't know. I don't know if there's like select targets on people that they're looking at, or if it's just hey, everyone's fair game. But it kind of seems like you're now kind of like in the center of this.
And I kind of expect that. And it's like everywhere I go, like I just want to. I go to places, want to wrestle, be a champion, and then you become a champion. Yeah, there's going to be a target on your back, but it just seems like now on top of a target, there's another target with me, and it's everywhere I go now. And it's like, what are you guys that threatened by me? I'm just a turtle. Yeah, I might do amazing things, but according to some people, I am just some turtle. But apparently, that target it has another target every time. But I was trying to talk to Steve about this last night, but we didn't get a chance to. It, this is a never-ending story with me, and it doesn't always end well for my enemies. So they need to keep that in mind.
Well, we're keeping it in mind. I got Logan Steele, who's joining us real quick here, and hopefully kind of get his side of the events that happened last night. Mr. Steele, how you doing, sir?
Good. How you doing?
Great. Again, I think I mentioned this last time I talked to you. Love the articulation in your voice. Awesome.
I appreciate that. It might be a little different today. I'm actually at the gym right now as we speak, so I'll give you a bit of my time here, but then I got to get back to my workout. So whatever it is you're looking to get the knowledge on, go ahead and ask, and I'll give you what I can.
Yeah. First question is, what's it like going to a gym?
Honestly, to me, it's one of the. It's almost as good as beating people down in the ring. So.
Well, dude, you definitely beat a lot of people down last night. You were first off on High Voltage.
Yeah.
And you didn't. You kind of came up short in your match against Johnny Chaos. And a lot of the factors. VJ Price came out with the distraction and everything, but at the same time, Scott Spade and Mistress Misery wasn't really staying out of the match on their end either.
I mean, they were just trying to let the referee know that his shoes were untied. I mean, I thought they were being nice, okay? And then for some reason, VJ decided to come out and stick his nose in my business and cost me the win against Chaos. Everyone knew I had Chaos beat easily. So I don't understand why he felt the need to come out there and do what he did. But I told him I was going to get him later that night. And, obviously, as we saw, that happened. So don't stick your nose in the Torture Killer's business.
Well, I mean, obviously, last month they did kind of do that with, obviously the attack on Turtle after his match with Aaron Xavier. I don't think I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys last month at all after everything that happened, but obviously the interference during the title match that Scott Spade had against the Amazing Turtle, VJ, Johnny Chaos, Amazon all came in and kind of try to even the odds and everything. Now, Amazon we spoke with, she's out for a while because of you. So she's not too happy about that. But it seems like you guys are like, first off, looking at Turtle more than anybody. Is it just because he was there and that was the opportunity, or is there something against Turtle that you guys are really focused on?
No, it's exactly like you said the first time. We've been telling people it's not, anybody in particular. It's just if you happen to be there. If you happen to be there, wrong place, wrong time, we're coming for you.
Okay. So that makes more sense. So it's just because Scott Spade was booked in the match with Turtle.
That's all it was. It's never personal. Everyone keeps taking it personal. We just like hurting people. We said we were going to do it, and that's what we set out to do. He just happened to be the one that was right there.
Okay, so that makes sense to me. Your match with VJ Price, it didn't, and it was weird because I was on commentary and I was talking to Chris about this. Before you showed up, Eldorado and VJ Price, I mean, with the exception of Hunter Paine, obviously, I'm not going to take anything away from him. They were the powerhouses of SCW, and nobody could really match that power. But then you showed up, and you watch you and VJ in the match trying to lift each other, trying to overpower each other, and it just didn't seem like it was possible. So you kind of altered your match logic and started going like more like ground and pound and everything. It was aggressive as hell, man. So kudos to you guys for destroying each other in any way you seem fit. But when you look at the footage, and I hate to say it, but when you look at it, it looked like Scott Spade helped you get the victory. Was there a fear that maybe you couldn't do it on your own?
No, not at all. And honestly, I don't know what people were talking about. We said it afterwards in the interview with Steve. Scott never touched anybody. VJ fell over. I landed on top of him. He was trying to slam me, and it just so happened he couldn't kick out. His back gave out, and he was done. I mean, I don't know what everyone's talking about. And I just want to reiterate. I told VJ that on the last show, if not for Kazile hitting me with the fork inadvertently, he was never going to beat me. And I told him, one-on-one with no outside anybody interfering, he would never beat me. And that's what we saw last night. And now he wants to cry about his foot being held. And the only thing I want to say to him, and I'm hoping he's listening, is one of my favorite movies, A Knight's Tale, what Count Adhemar said to Sir Auric: "In what world could you have ever beaten me?" It's the only thing I want him to know.
Well, luckily, even if he's not on right now, because I can't really look at the list of who's on right now, even if he can listen to it later on when it is released. Because, I mean, it's a bold statement to say, man, because, I mean, like, there's no doubt you're a powerhouse. We saw you in the ring with Hunter Paine back in WrestleTopia. And it's not every day that somebody could, stand toe-to-toe, pound for pound with Hunter Paine. But you did it. And I don't think people realize how big you really are until you get like really up close to you and everything. I make a lot of jokes that you're the Big Show, but that's because you look like him and you can articulate words like him, which is fantastic. But it's interesting to see how somebody can manhandle VJ Price and Eldorado because you don't really see it that much. And I think when you look at the power that you bring to the Torture Killers, along with the intelligence and the veteran mindset of Scott Spade, it's a dangerous combination. And we kind of saw him coaching you along the way, out of your match. Is there anything that he said that you could share with us on how he's kind of coaching you through this?
No, I can't share that information. I can just tell you I listen to what he says, and that's why you saw the results you saw.
Yeah. Well, dude, like I said, last night your match was awesome. You picked up the victory against VJ Price, Feast or Famine. Turtle, I'm not sure if he has anything he wants to say to you, but I mean, Nubby, you want to say anything to Logan before we let him go back? And I think I saw Aaron Xavier asking if you would deadlift 455 for him.
I'll give it a shot. I haven't tried that yet, but I'll give it a shot.
Awesome. Angel also wants you to work on chest, so
that's what I'm doing actually.
Nubby, you got anything you want to say to Steele?
Well, as I'm sitting here eating my pancakes, I'm surprised I haven't thrown up yet listening to all the bullshit that he's saying. But you know what? A win is a win. I get it. We say this all the time, Travis. A win's a win no matter what. Even if he is full of crap, that's cool. I understand you saying that it's nothing personal. Well, it does become personal when it involves me. And I do have a track record of taking out factions. So do your homework. You might want to ask Steve Ahrendt about that. He knows everything about it. Just keep that in mind. You might be torture killers, but I am an amazing turtle and I do amazing things.
Well, I tell you what. If you're that angry, I'll leave you with this. Why don't you and we'll step in the ring, and the rest of the torture killers, I'll tell them to stay in the back and can just be you and me, and you'll see that you can't even handle one of us, let alone all of us.
Anytime. I mean, I was pretty much handling Scott Spade, but you are a little bit bigger than him. You might be better than him. So I accept that challenge, though, anytime.
Let's make it happen.
Awesome. Well, I'll see what I can do about that. Apparently, I can book things like that, but we'll see. Mr. Steele, again, thank you for taking time out of your workout to come on and talk with us, man. And hope you enjoy the rest of the day and you get a chance to listen to the rest of the show. Maybe we'll get VJ on and you'll be able to hear him, and I'll relay to him what you said. What did you say? It was Knight's Tale? That's what
The movie A Knight's Tale, yeah, with Heath Ledger. So in what world could you have ever beaten me?
Okay, awesome. I'll make sure to relay that to him if I can get him on the show this morning. So thanks again, man. I appreciate you coming on.
All right, thank you.
You can't be mad at a guy like that, Nubby. I mean, he's very polite.
He sounds polite. I'll give him that.
Like I said, he articulates very well.
Oh yeah, I give him that. No problem. But come on, that doesn't get you anywhere in wrestling. So
That's not true. I'm very nice, and look how far it's gotten me.
wait, are you sure that you're nice?
I am 100% nice. It got me to a point where I get to interview amazing champions in this business, like Angel, who's currently on this call.
Oh well, hey, don't let me stop
You
you.
can come join if you want.
Angel, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing on this beautiful Sunday morning after a big victory over, I don't know, Terry Allen's Chosen Four.
Yeah, huge 8-man tag victory. That's I'm pretty sure this is right, but that was the first time the entire Sabotage was able to team together. I believe that's correct.
Yes.
Right? And crushed her, by the way. I was up there and I was talking to Cowboy Chris James, who was talking about how Sabotage didn't stand a chance against their opponents last night. And I had to sit there and I explained to him, it's like, Chris, when you sit there and look at it, and I told him I wasn't going to tell you, but I lie. I was like, when you sit there and look at it, I'm like, you got the current SCW Tag Team Champions. Not only that, you look at Ahrendt, Xavier, and Angel, who are not only the top 2 champions in the business currently, but they're also former tag team champions themselves. So tag team matches are more their experience, because then you look at James Creed, who hasn't been in a tag team since he went solo. Bonanza runs solo. Chaos is solo. RVP is solo. Like, that, I don't think there was no chance that they were going to win. So.
No. And I think yesterday when they came in to run in and we stood our ground, I think that put a little fear, a little shock in them.
Right. Well, yeah, because they assumed you guys are going to run away. And it's like, why would you? You established yourselves as the top, faction in this business right now, And I was telling Chris when you guys first came out the first day, it's like all the gold. Like you guys have like 70% of the gold that's in that business. All you got left is Nubby's high voltage title, Mulligan's Steam Brewmaster Championship.
You're forgetting one.
Genesis Championship.
Mm-hmm.
See, okay. See, thank you for keeping me in check. I do appreciate it. See, that's why you're awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you're awesome. I want to talk a little bit about your altercation in the ring with James Creed, because I know Creed was very hesitant on having physical contact with you. And I believe he said it's because he can't hit a woman.
Well, first of all, let's just call this why James Creed will never succeed against Aaron. Creed does not have the mental capacity to do what has to be done. Obviously, I had no problem putting my hands on Creed whatsoever. Hell, it felt good. I mean, kind of wish it was Terry's face, but that's a whole other subject right now.
Yeah. It was interesting because go ahead.
We circled. He had the opportunity to do something. He chose not to. And then once again, having my team's back, making sure we pile a victory on, another opportunity to lay one in there. I mean, it was basically a free shot, and he still didn't have the balls to take it. I mean, how are you ever going to beat Aaron and be a champion if you're never going to do what has to be done to win?
No,
champions win.
Yep, and
everything else is secondary.
Yeah, because it was interesting because obviously, like, with the whole match starting out and everything, you proved without doubt that you're willing to step up to anyone that was across that ring, shoving Creed and everything. And yeah, it just the hesitation that he had, I think, definitely put them on a downward spiral from the very beginning of the match. And I'm not going to blame him fully for the loss, even though he was the one that got pinned and was the one that didn't realize who was the legal man in the match and all that stuff. But I mean,
there is ego right there, Got to hit the big elbow drop on the wrong person because you don't even know the moving parts.
Yeah. Aaron says morals are the crutch of losers.
Mm-hmm.
Solid. God, that should be a bumper sticker. How did it feel to get into the ring, not only with, obviously Creed and all that, but also RVP again, the woman that you took the title from last month?
Oh, we've been doing that forever.
I know, right?
I mean, I'm not going to lie. One of my moments was I really hope I scarred Johnny Chaos's mark of a brother just by Samoan dropping his ass and saying that was all for you.
Oh, God, that kid.
That was great.
I did pop for that one, just saying.
Being a mark is going to get your brother killed.
Yeah, well, when you look at it, it's like you definitely held your own in the match. I think I confused it because Nubby was sitting right next to us, and I may have gotten the moves wrong. You had Chaos. Is it the end of days? Is that what those?
I like to. We've yes, it is an end of days, but we now renamed it By Felicia.
By Felicia. Okay, that's right.
That's a good one.
I think I called it something else by accident.
Aaron likes to call it the "get the fuck off me." We're calling it By Felicia. It depends on what you want to call it at that moment,
right? But and the thing is, like when you look at it, like obviously, James Creed is probably, he has longevity in in this business. RVP even longer than that. Chaos is fairly new, and Bonanza, I still don't know where he came from or what he does. But I mean, I guess they kind of look at it as a learning opportunity to when they step in the ring with you guys, the faction of SCW.
Let me do the math here. Hold on. So Aaron's time in is like almost 23 years. My time in is about 9. I want to say Sabotage combined is like 17.
Mm-hmm.
We're over almost 50 years just between the four of us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's impressive because you can sit there and look at, especially not only in SCW but also across independent wrestling as a whole. It's like the titles that you guys have held everywhere, and obviously and I don't want to sit there and assume that Aaron's the leader of Sabotage because it kind of seems like you guys collectively just work together. I guess it's like a Judgment Day thing. Like there's no leader of Sabotage; it's just you guys working together. But he is the evil genius for a reason, and I think it's really cool the fact that you got Dysfunction who comes from OVW who comes up here into
Superstars, stars on Netflix.
Right. You check out the documentary and everything. Like anyone who steps in the ring with Dysfunction should be honored because of the opportunity for that. But I mean, Aaron has the ability to make people better, and I see it every month when Sabotage is together as a whole and everything. But obviously, I don't want to take anything away from your ability and Dysfunction's abilities because you guys are champions for a reason. And clearly, you guys did it on your own. No one can dispute that.
I know, and it breaks everybody's hearts that we magically did it on our own, like we said we were going to do.
Yeah. It's. I think they're really just bitter because they're not getting what they want, and that's James Creed as champion.
Well, you know what? As is life, and guess what? You don't always get what you want. But once again, this generation or these SCW fans think that because they want something, if they wish hard enough, it's going to happen.
Oh yeah. And I'm guessing I'm going to have Aaron on today if I can. That's awesome. And I'll ask him this, but I want to get your perspective on it too. So at the end of last night, Aaron gave Terry a bunch of stipulations in order to allow Creed to have that title match once again. Mm-hmm. And one of the conditions is that Terry resigns as president. Now, when Aaron wins and beats James Creed, he is to appoint the next president. And I know it's not me. I mean, as much as I would love to do it, I know it's not me, and I'm fine with that. But if it's not Aaron, who would you recommend to be president of SCW?
Right now, we are just focused on showing Creed's weakness and making Terry eat his words. Because as you saw last night, I mean, my God, it should have been. I mean, contracts were signed. You don't get another shot. And once again, what does Terry say? I want to give Creed another shot. No.
Yeah.
No. And who we decide on to be once it's become Sabotage Wrestling, I mean, what is it? Sabotage Championship Wrestling. I mean, it's going to be great. We're going to have a lot of, the letters don't even change. I mean, that's how great it's going to be.
Oh yeah, marketing would be phenomenal. You just got to change a word, which I think is fantastic. Just can you at least promise me that if you do have a list, I'm at least on it? I mean, I'm fine at being at the bottom of it. But
I have a list of everybody we're going to fire.
No, promote. Move up the ladder. I'm just saying, just a consideration. You don't have to do it. Even if you lied and said, "Oh, you know what? You just got beaten out," it'll make me feel better.
Travis, you might make the top 10.
Thank you. That's all I need to know. I'm fine with being like 12. It's cool.
You might make the top 10. 10 and a half maybe.
Well, we know Aaron is signing a contract in December, and I believe that match is for the following month. I'm not entirely sure, but we have an idea of what's happening with Aaron going forward. Do you have any idea what the plan is for Angel in December?
Dropping whoever I'm facing, like their third period math.
Solid.
So it doesn't matter who I face. It doesn't matter at all at this point. All that matters is they're going to get hurt, establish my dominance, walk out as champion. I think it's great that how I wore the belt yesterday kind of got people all riled up.
I know. I saw a lot of people in the.
It was really, very triggered, very sensitive out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was unique and different. And and also, by the way, I wasn't a big fan of the fact that Steve was talking about RVP being the greatest SCW Women's Champion, considering there's only one person who's 2-time Women's Champion.
Oh, Steve just thinks he gets a rise out of me and Aaron, and he doesn't, because eventually it comes back to bite him in the ass.
Yeah. I don't. I think Steve needs to, see the realization of what's happening and realize that even though Logan Steele just said the torture killers are taking over, I don't think they can really overcome what Sabotage is doing currently.
No. I'll out-squat Logan Steele, no problem.
Well, hopefully he's in the gym right now trying to deadlift 455 and working on chest by the recommendation of Sabotage. But I do appreciate you calling in. I do appreciate you talking with me.
Oh, no problem, Travis. Anything, Turtle? Anything from you from last night that you want to comment on?
I'm just gonna comment on something about Terry, but nothing about you.
Okay.
For once, I'm gonna let this all go today. You're actually not on my shit list this morning.
Oh, I feel like I need to work on that for next month.
Yeah, you're slacking.
Turtle, you gotta be careful because Sabotage could run SCW here in the next coming months, and you want to keep your job. So,
well, I don't think they'll fire me. They'll do something with me, but they'll torture me.
Stripping you of a belt and just putting you back in the stripes. I don't know yet. We'll see what happens. You might be selling concessions. Don't know yet.
I'll take concessions over reffing any day.
Angel, thanks for calling in. You hopefully enjoy the rest of the live stream.
Oh, I will, because the champ will be calling in to comment.
Yeah, I think he's next. So we'll see.
Don't tease the crowd now. I don't want to get them all riled up and then disappoint them like their lives.
Yeah, that's most of my relationships. Anyways, thank you again for calling in. you take care. Nubby, you ready for the champ?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you gotta be nice, dude. Like I said,
I was being nice. That was the nicest I've ever been to Angel. So
no, you gotta work on being nicer, dude. Because these could be your future bosses that you're being mean to.
Well, Aaron's been my boss before, so I know that. I know how that goes.
Well, Aaron is Aaron is on. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. And what is this? Could be your new boss. Could be? No. Will be. Let's get that right out the gate. But let's just talk about last night. Whoa. What a night last night was for Sabotage. I mean, who in a million years, with all the accomplishments and all the accolades and all the respect that man has gotten over the years, who would have ever thought that Terry would have come down in the middle of the ring and shown himself to be such a chicken shit last night? I mean, he's the one that asked for this match with me and Angel last night.
Yep.
And faking an injury, what is this? What is this, like elementary school gym class where you fake an injury so you don't have to play dodgeball? I mean,
it reminds me of the movie Little Giants when the Giants are getting beaten by the Cowboys and the entire team asked to go on the injured list.
Yes, that's exactly it. I mean, I was stunned. And so last night purely was a result of Terry. Terry wanted to, back his way out, because he was hurt. And I'm using giant air quotes there. So, so we decided, you know what? We're gonna put everyone on notice here. It's like, obviously Terry, who was supposed to be the knight in shining armor, the one that put me in my place, he doesn't even have the stones to get back in the ring with me. And so that's all it was. It's like, Johnny Chaos Bonanza, a little collateral damage. It happens. And, you guys all saw what happened at the end of the night. We laid everybody out. Everybody out.
Oh, yeah. I remember saying to Chris on commentary, it's like, how do you get a locker room to come for help when the locker room's laid out in the ring?
There it is.
And it's interesting that, I mean, and I got nothing against Terry. I do respect him for who he is, and he's still technically my boss for the next at least month. But, he's too injured to have a match, but he wasn't injured enough to come out at the end to make the save along with Hunter Paine.
It's, how is it? It was our way of, testing the limits. It's like when you have a toddler. The toddler's going to keep doing a little bit more, trying to find out where that line was. Mm-hmm. And so, that's sort of what we did last night. Okay, we got rid of Bonanza. Angel here, she bully choked the hell out of Renee, put her out. We got rid of Johnny Chaos. Well, actually, Angel got rid of Johnny Chaos, which, everyone can send their thank you letters to Shaban, Civic Center for that. And then we're left with the Golden Boy. And I've made no secret about it. I think the Golden Boy there is a fraud. I think it's just all a figment of Hunter Paine and Terry's imagination. Don't get me wrong, Creed, very talented wrestler. Yep. But he's not the guy. He's never going to be the guy, and that's okay. Because some men are just meant to live ordinary lives. And he's one of them. So all we did was we're just going to do a little more. We're going to see how much we can get away with, And to Terry and Hunter's credit, and I'm sure Hunter probably had to drag Terry out from under his desk where he was hiding from us all night to come save him. But you saw what was about to happen. We were about to, pop James Creed's head off like a Pez dispenser.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was interesting because as I mentioned to Angel, and I'm not sure if you're listening at that moment, but you four of Sabotage is either current SCW champions or former SCW tag team champions. Everyone on the other side either wasn't a tag team partner for how long or new to the business. So the advantage was definitely on your guys' end, but I mean, not only because of the experience as tag team champions, but also, I think Angel said like over 50 years of knowledge in the business.
She hit the nail on the head with it. I mean, Dysfunction is the most dominant tag team SCW has right now. It's not even close. They're running roughshod in it. It's awfully reminiscent of, myself and John Hudson, and then myself and Angel too. But we've all been the tag team champions at that company. It is what it is. But here's what makes Sabotage different. We're all interchangeable. It's like It's like people don't realize Brandon Espinoza has been a singles champion all around the country too. He can go out. You see him every week. You use him on your show, Travis. He goes out there and puts on clinic after clinic as a singles wrestler too. So there's not a situation you can put us in. It's not like, oh, we can do the tag match against the two singles guys. No, that's not how it works. We are a functioning unit that all the parts are interchangeable. No matter what you put us in, you're not going to put us in a weak position. It's just that position doesn't exist for Sabotage.
No, it's you definitely can't see any kind of weaknesses in you guys. It's been proven over the last couple months how, as a united group, you guys are definitely the powerful group in the business. And I'm not taking anything away from torture killers. Don't kill me. I'm just speaking truths. But I want to talk about the ending of the match. Obviously, you picked up the victory against James Creed. Congratulations! And again, that's the inexperience over the experience and knowing who's the legal person in the match and who's not. Hitting the elbow drop on Angel, completely mean, whatever. But she's tough; she could handle it.
What a hypocrite that man is. Oh, I don't want to hit a woman. I don't want to hit a woman. Then we're all down. No one can fight back. He has his choice of all four of us, and who does he choose? He chooses the woman. Right. Don't give me that. I don't want to hit a woman. No, you were afraid that woman was going to hit you back harder.
Right. Hey, it makes sense to me. Yeah, and as you mentioned, I mean, you had the chair wrapped around Creed's head, about to take him out. Terry and Hunter came out. And then the conversation happened about the rematch. The rematch that's not supposed to happen. Actually, Freiberg said earlier in this chat, who I believe is your lawyer, stated that he's ready for your regime or whatever fancy word he used. I don't know. I'm not educated. But the contract stated that after Creed lost his match a few months back, he wasn't supposed to get another title shot. And in the ring, he kept pushing, and Terry said, the match could happen, all this other stuff. But being the evil genius, you found a way, to, entice them, to offer up, more for that shot to happen. Now, usually, this is why you're different than everyone else, is usually people say, if I win, you're no longer president. If I lose, you remain president. But this time around, Terry's done after next month, regardless. Which, I mean, I didn't even know that was happening. When I start hearing the presidency, up for grabs and all that stuff, in my mind, I was like, okay, Aaron wins, Terry's no longer president. Aaron loses. Terry remains president, but that's not the case. Terry's done. And I hope people understand that's because of you. So thank you for that. The other thing is this contracted scheduled title match is technically James Creed's cash-in. So when this goes in your favor and you win, you don't have to worry about that cash-in coming out of nowhere, like you did with Hunter, last year.
Well, it's twofold. It's like, first of all, I didn't have to worry about a cash-in from Creed either way because I was smart enough to put the no rematch clause into the contract the first time. That's so Creed was literally, it's the called shot back. Cool. For him, it was just a stick of wood he was carrying around like a 3-year-old who found something on a walk. It was meaningless. So yeah, it's like, and as much as I'd like to take credit for it, it's like, I told Terry at the beginning, there's nothing you could do. It wasn't my idea. Mr. Brandon Espinoza is the one that stopped me, and him and Kyle explained to me, what if you did this? And the idea was great. So Terry, it's like Terry's been a thorn in our side now for quite a while. And so what it is, like, all right, you want this match bad enough? I want you out of here. I don't want to have to deal with you anymore. So win, lose, draw, whatever, Terry is no longer going to be in a position of power at SCW. He will no longer be able to interject himself into Sabotage business. And then at the end of the day, championships are great, but is there a greater thing to have than power? So when Creed fails, and make no mistake, he's going to, I, along with the rest of Sabotage, will sit down and we will find a suitable replacement who who let's just say, from lack of a better phrase, will just sort of rubber stamp whatever shenanigans we want to get involved in.
And you know what? And it's weird because I mean I've been coming to SCW since about 2017. I think it was right around the time it went from CSW Southland to SCW, and I've seen. I believe this might be the third president / commissioner that SCW has had, and at least the previous two definitely allowed the power of that to go to their head and start making unnecessary decisions and everything. And it feels like Terry was starting to go that route a little bit himself. Not as bad as Keast or Sentinel, but they're getting there. So I hope whoever you do put in position doesn't have that mindset and really truly has the best for business mentality.
No, that's not what's going to happen. It's like, because I really could care less at what's best for business. I care what's best for sabotage. So it's like, I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh, we're going to find this impartial president to bring, that. No, I'm going to find somebody who's good for sabotage. I could care less what he does to everyone else on that roster. But he's going to be our handpicked guy. It's literally going to be, it's going to be a puppet government. And I'm going to be pulling the strings. I mean, it's going to be the ultimate power. There's nothing anyone's going to be able to do. Oh, Hunter Paine, you want to do a run-in? Cool, you're fired. It's like, if you notice when the whole idea was, I originally laid it out there, Terry didn't want to do it. He knows. Terry's not a dumb man. He knows where this is going to end up. Mm-hmm. It's like, go back, watch the video, look at Steve Ahrendt's face. He's lived me gaining power. Turtle, you were there. I gained power. It's not. It's like I don't. It's like I don't. I don't beat around the bush here. It's like if I'm in power, it's about what's best for me and what's best for mine.
Damn.
It's like and this is another thing. What it all ties back into Creed being a fraud here. It's if Terry believed in Creed the way he likes to try to put on in his public persona, then why didn't he immediately just say, you know what, you're on? He didn't. He had to be convinced by Hunter, by Creed, by the fans, because he knows just what I know. And that Creed, while he's a very talented up-and-coming wrestler, and he gets a great reaction from the crowd, when it comes to the big match, and it comes to the big match against Aaron Xavier, he just can't get the job done. And it's happened to him time and time again. He likes to fall back on the, oh, I beat you. Okay, cool. You beat me in a random match at Steam Hollow when there was nothing on the line. SCW has never had a better big match wrestler than myself. I have never been pinned. I have never been defeated in a big match. It's like, heck, we lost the tag titles. It took them pile driving a female and throwing me out of the ring to try those out of my hands. There's never been a big match wrestler like me at SCW.
You got anything to say to that, Nubby?
No, I believe he's telling the truth, and he is the evil genius for a reason. So,
and Nubby, don't worry. Despite what my loving wife says, it's like your job is secure. I'm not going to fire you. It's like I could see you being the beer vendor, and you know what? That's going to be my first act as controlling the SCW presidency. We're gonna have Nubby walking around as a beer vendor at Shabant Civic Center because wrestling's better with beer.
Do I get to drink on the job to get through it?
Absolutely. As long as I get the money at the end of the night, I don't care what you do.
Okay.
Is my job safe?
Your job is always safe, Travis.
Thank you, sir.
It's like as long as you keep minding your P's and Q's, you're safe. It's like I've got a list of people I'm going to fire. Probably the first one I'm going to cut bait with is that VJ Price guy who likes to run his mouth about me every month on your show, which I don't know why, but VJ Price, I'll fire him.
Jeez. Well, I would love to see that that list of yours come this December during the contract signing, because I would love to see what the ideas of sabotage really is. But sir, I do appreciate it. Real quick, I'm trying to figure this out. So the contract signing is December. I know a lot of people are asking me about one concern. It's just the contract signing, not the match in December.
Nope, it is just a contract signing. The targeted date we have for the match will be in January back at the Shabant Civic Center. Now, that is providing that, Terry doesn't, show that yellow streak again and not get the contract over to Mr. Freiberg for me. It's, there's always a possibility until the ink's dry on the contract, nothing's official. It's Terry could wake up this morning and basically go, like that night everyone has in college where they get drunk and they wake up, they turn over, and the person next to you is 350 pounds and looks like Yokozuna is like, what have I done? It's this could happen this morning. So it's while I laid it out there, the match is not official. If Terry actually decides he wants to go through with this, then the match is targeted for January.
Perfect. Awesome. Aaron, I appreciate you calling in and talking with us, man. And I'm excited to see what happens. Not only next month, obviously, because you guys, make the shows entertaining in itself, but also to see that ultimate victory in January.
All right. You guys have a good show.
All right. Thanks, man. You take care.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So,
what's up, man?
can I just make a statement?
You can. Real quick, while you're making that statement, a lot of people are asking for James Creed to come on and give his response. So, sir, if you want to come on and respond to what was heard, feel free to do so. Go ahead, Nubby. What were you going to say?
So, looking back at everything, Terry has only one person to blame, and that's himself. I have all faith in, Creed and beating Aaron. That I think he can pull it off. And with everything happening, it might be an even playing field, but I won't say why right now. But Terry should have never let Creed in the call your shot ladder match. Because I believe if Creed was not in it, and because we all knew he was going to win that match, there was no way he wasn't.
That's not true. Schultz almost won.
Schultz sucks. So
good rebuttal, bro.
Look, Creed is hungry for that title, and there was no way he wasn't going to win that ladder match. But because he won, you put everything in his hands and in his mind that he can go for the title. If he was not in that match, I don't think we would be in this position right now. And this is all Terry's fault. I'm sorry to say that, but I know he's been a great president. He's better than the last two idiots we had.
Mm-hmm.
And he was tough, but yeah, Terry messed up when he put Creed in the ladder match, knowing that was part of the contract of not getting a title shot with Aaron with the championship.
Yeah, and you're not wrong, dude. I mean, everything you said is right. The weird thing that I know Terry will never admit it, and unless you really look at it, I don't think you could ever really, make him think otherwise, is he says that he never lets personal problems affect the decisions he makes, and everything's all about the business, what's best for business, and it's only business. And I just don't see that being the case. I've seen a lot of personal vendettas come from Terry over the course of the last few months. I mean, come on now. It's like you're telling me that you're going to make a tag team match with you and Erica versus Angel and Xavier, and it's not personal? I mean, you're going to tell me that you spun the wheel randomly and it happens to end up on Hunter Paine? Every decision that has been made in the last couple months has been a personal decision by Terry, especially what happened last night, where he didn't want to put his presidency on the line. Where's James Creed? I could ask him this himself. Because I don't want to sound like a douchebag, and I don't want to come off as biased. That's not, I'm a huge, fan of Aaron, Xavier, and Angel, and maybe not everything they do is, the right way, but it's their way of doing it, and if it's working, it's working. But Mr. Creed, how you doing?
I'm a little beat up, but needless to say, I'm still standing. So that's all that matters here, guys.
Yeah, yeah. I saw you. I saw you have a hellacious match last night. Huge main event, man.
Yeah. First, I just want to say a huge thank you to Wrestling Fan One for all the support. You're probably my biggest fan, so appreciate that. I'll bring you a signed autograph next month for you.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out who that person is. As long who's the other one? Stiff Biff and somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Wrestling Fan One is probably Doris.
You know what? That's what I keep saying, but he told me it wasn't, and I don't. I could
You
I could
believe
usually
him?
tell, I could usually tell when he's fucking with me, and I don't know. It's like because I remember Doris coming on these live streams before, and I think he had a different name. So unless he did change it, I mean, like I said, it could be him. He could be that could be Doris. Stiff Biff could be. I mean, they could all be Doris. That dude. That dude gives no shits about his opinion being heard or not. Which I mean, it's fantastic as a wrestling fan. But when you sit there and watch the chat of being like, "Get Creed on, we want to hear from Creed," and then wrestling fan, no one cares. It's like, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, like everyone needs to care because the thing is, like, this moment between you and Aaron is a long time coming. I mean, honestly, it's something that's not supposed to be happening, but it is.
Yeah. I mean, I signed the contract in the first place. I must have missed. I read it 2-3 times. I even went over it with Terry right before the show, and we just skimmed over it. Are you sure you want to do it? And I said, yeah. And yeah, I did not see that little part in there, probably in the fine print, that I do not get another title chance if I lose. And well, I got fucked over in the end, and here I am fighting to get my chance back.
Yeah. Oh God, fucking Stiff Biff showed up. Jesus Christ.
How convenient.
Right on cue.
I know, right? These monsters. Holy hell. I want to ask a question, and I know it's gonna sound like douches, like douches, whatever, new word. It's gonna sound like I'm being a dick, and I don't mean to be, but I want to get your response on it because the thing is, the only reason this title match is happening is you had to give up your bat, which I think is fair because this is a title shot that you're getting and everything. But also, Terry is no longer president, like flat out done because of this match happening. And I mean, is that a consideration that you like thought of when trying to get this match to happen? Because you're getting a title shot now, but Terry's also losing a job.
Yeah, that is one thing that me and Hunter were talking about in there with Terry. And Terry asked us both if we thought that it was the right decision. And me and Hunter, we both said, yeah, let's do it. And Terry's still persistent saying that it's the wrong decision, but we need to get Aaron out. And if that's what it takes, then so be it. But I'll finally have my one-on-one match with Aaron with no outside interference. And that is when I become the new SCW champion.
Well, and dude, and that's incredible for you. You know, I mean, it makes sense that James Creed is in the main event spot. I mean, it's logical, and you know, it's not just SCW; it's everywhere else you wrestle. I mean, James Creed became a main event guy, but it's almost selfish that in order for you to have this title match, Terry had to give up his job. Like it seems like I don't want people to overlook that concept of it. Like in order for this to happen, Terry has to resign. And the thing is, he said no at first. Angel said it right there in the chat. Like Terry said no, but I don't know if it's a peer pressure thing. I don't know what you and Hunter was saying to him, but this dude is. I mean, that's a big sacrifice to give up being president of a company for you to have an opportunity to win a match. Like, there's no guarantee you're going to win, but it's guaranteed that Terry's gone, and that's, I mean, it's selfish, isn't it?
Wrong number.
Yeah, when you put it like that, yes, but Terry still could have said no. Me and Hunter were both just, hey, we were asking for the match. We didn't pressure him and tell him. I was damn near begging Terry for this match. He could have still said no, and I would have just had to have accepted it, plain and simple.
Yeah,
But he did say yes. I did not have a gun to his head telling him he needs to make this match happen. He did that on his own accord.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, man. I mean, you look over the course of the last few months and everything. Like, you've been intertwined with Aaron Xavier, like, you know, not 100% every time, but there's always been some kind of connection that brought you back around to him. I don't see him saying no and you being okay with that and moving on with, you know, your career here in SCW. I don't see him saying this isn't happening and you being like, oh, okay, cool, on to the next month. And I can see it in Hunter's eyes too. I mean, I get it. You guys want this title match, and I understand that. But it's your opportunity to gain, where it's Terry's inevitable loss. And now the thing is, now all that weight falls on you come January when the match happens. So you're either going to win a title, Terry's going to have to appoint somebody, or you lose again, and I'll sabotage appoint somebody. That's a lot of weight to carry, brother.
Well, I've put this company on my back once before, and I'll be damned if I can't do it again.
Yeah. Well, it was mentioned that it was only going to be you and Aaron. No outside interference. Which, to be honest, how often has that been said and that's been true?
Well, that's why a contract's being written up. If somebody gets involved on Aaron's behalf, well, maybe there needs to be repercussions for that before the match ends. That whoever the official is, they're just going to have to act on that.
Yeah, man. Well, I guess I don't know. I do wish you luck, man. Like I said, I mean, I know I come on here and I praise Aaron and Angel and everything, but that's mostly for the work that they do. Because they are pretty cool people, and I'm sorry that they beat up on you a lot. It seems to happen quite frequently. Quick follow up question. Obviously, last night the knee looked pretty good, but how are you feeling?
Well, Travis, I'm always feeling great, so you don't ever have to worry about that.
Well, I just want to make sure, man, because you know, obviously, it looked like that knee got a little bit re-injured in the ladder match a few months back, and during the tournament last month, looked like that knee started aggravating you again to the point where Terry had to throw in the towel in order to save you from further injury. It looked like, I don't know, whatever you did, but it looked like the knee was almost, it looked like back to normal last month. Or I'm sorry, last night. It looked like it was back to normal last night. Obviously, seeing you, you know, jumping off the ropes and everything and colliding with everybody, you know, you could. But that's still a target that, you know, I'm sure Angel has his sights on. Not to take, you know, your thing, but
well, did you wait? That Angel has his sights set on?
Aaron,
Do you know something that I don't?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Angel went at you, and first off, dude, how dare you hit her? Rude.
I didn't hit her.
Yeah,
I
you hit her with
talked
an
to people
elbow.
on the pitch.
You jumped right on top of her, man. You monster. Could have hit somebody else. That's beside the point. Who the hell? The wrestling one says, or somebody says I talked about Angel way too much. Idiots.
I mean,
But
it's true.
dude, it's 100% true. I got a problem. But I guess to make my point again, obviously that knee is going to be a focal point in Aaron's mind coming to your match and everything. So I guess, where is the knee at right now?
My knee is at 100%.
Okay, so there we go.
nothing a little physical therapy can't take care of. So,
Right. Now, see, if you just would have said that and ignored my mistake, I wouldn't have to have talked about Angel. See, realistically, it's on you people that make me talk about Angel more than I do. Regardless of the
well,
fact
I
that
mean, you
she's
did
not
say
champion.
Angel was a he.
We can
So I
just
just
move on.
wanted to
We can move on
clarify.
from my mistakes. Why don't we just move on from my mistakes, James? Jesus, God, gee, this is what happens when I have you on, pointing out.
I thought you
errors
were a
and everything.
journalist. I thought you were a journalist. You need to know
I'm
this
also
shit.
an idiot, and you know that.
This is very true, but everybody also knows that.
In December, was it December 16th at Steam Hollow? That's correct.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. You are signed a contract for Aaron Xavier. Anything you'd like to say? I believe Aaron is still here and listening. Is there anything you'd like to say to him before I let you go?
All my talking to Aaron will be done during the contract signing next month, because right now I just have nothing to say to that piece of shit. He's a weasel. That's honestly the best way to describe him. Cowboy Chris James said it best. He's just a weasel.
Well, he's also SCW Heavyweight Champion.
Not for long.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm torn because I want to keep my job. So, James, thank you for coming on and talking. Obviously, you have a lot of fans here in the chat. They'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, I appreciate all the fan support, especially you, Wrestling Fan One. Come see me at the next show, and I'll have you a personalized 8x10 for you.
Nubby, you got anything to add to anything you want to say to James Creed before we let him go?
Yeah, just two things. One, thanks to Aaron pulling the tights, I had to see a side of you that I never want to see again.
Well,
and
you
two,
love it, don't you?
I don't want to admit that on air. Second thing, with Terry's last night as president is December. Remember in January, nobody's in charge.
But a contract still has to be followed.
Yeah,
a contract is a contract.
Yeah, be careful of that too, because if Freiberg is writing that thing up.
Well, damn it, I forgot about that idiot.
Yeah. I can't.
To be honest, he's easily forgettable. So, and on that note, thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, it's always a pleasure to get you on and talking and everything, and I'm glad I got your responses. So,
yeah, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to be on here, especially with Travis. At least we know he's not a transphobe, so he, her, it's all good.
That's right. 2023, man, live your best life.
All right, bye, guys.
Take care, man. Ah, man. I think I do want to talk to Freiberg if he wants to get on here, and I know he wasn't too happy.
He wants to cancel you already, so.
He can't. Why? Because he didn't read an email. That's not on me. That dude doesn't get his memos and shit. I said, hey, listen, card subject to change. So if he wants to throw a hissy fit because he didn't know he had a match change, that's on him or his secretary who doesn't give him the information.
That's a golden rule in wrestling. Period. Card is subject to change. That is never going to change.
Let's look at those changes. I know there are quite a few, but it really focused on punitive damages. Eric Schultz and I, you both made us go up against some guy we had never even heard of before, Sam Eli. That's completely ridiculous. At least when this 8-person tag came together, they all knew who they'd be facing in this. You can't do something like that.
I sent you the memo, bro.
Like an hour before the show. I had no time to prepare for this. Like I said, I'd never heard of the guy. I'm doing a quick Google search. Nothing is popping up. This is just more evidence of how biased you are against punitive damages and me in particular, and how many obstacles you're putting in our way. And even when you do that, I still overcome them.
Oh my God.
I don't know why you think I'm, dude. I don't have a problem with punitive damages. I love the fact that Eric Schultz is out there sporting those amazing suspenders. I think I talked about how they were real diamonds on those suspenders last night
They
because
really are fabulous.
yeah, huge fan of Eric Schultz. My only problem with punitive damages is your attitude towards me when I'm trying to make things right, but you think that I'm just being a douche to you.
Okay, look at the history here. First off, you only gave me a title shot because you thought there was no way I would beat Meat Hooks. I did that. Then you gave me all of these ridiculous matches. You put me in a battle royal. You decided you were just going to give Turtle as many title shots as he needed until he beat me. Then when I asked for a rematch, you say no, absolutely not till next year at some point, even though I am completely deserving of that because I got screwed over. And then I thought I had a match with El Dorado. I don't know what happened to him. I think he was stuck in a theater seat all night. So you had to find a ringer, and I get stuck with some guy who I've never heard of. That's completely unfair.
Okay. Well, first off, Warren C. Freiberg III, Esquire. My opinion on you while booking a match against Me Hooks is irrelevant. You didn't win that cleanly, so keep that in mind. The battle royal that you were put in for the high voltage title to see if you're truly a champion, you cheated in that as well.
You hit like a bitch.
Yeah. So you cheated then. You cheated in your title match against Turtle the first time around. Then you were arrogant. I altered the rules, which is within my right as general manager to do so. Put him in a match against you once again, where it was just you two, and then you lost because you didn't have the outside interference there to help you. And I sent you the memo that the match changed. So I get it, and this is why you're an amazing lawyer, because we said the exact same things, except mine were truths and yours is just bullshit.
Bullshit. No, this is absolutely not bullshit. I am merely making my case to show how biased you are. But at the end of the day, look, like I said, it didn't matter. I beat this crackhead that you found somewhere on the streets of Chabans. I actually didn't just beat him, completely dominated him, showed him that I am the best thing on high voltage right now, and that I'm absolutely deserving of this rematch. And then I heard earlier, you're just going to give a match to Logan Steele now? I mean, it should be who's deserving of these matches, and that's clearly me at this point.
What have you done to deserve anything, honestly, besides cry?
You saw that match. That was complete domination.
Right, and you know what? That might have been your best match ever. Great, good for you. You still lost to me.
That's true.
You got lucky. Again, like I said, Travis just kept giving you matches with more and more stipulations. He was going to keep screwing me over until he put that title on you. Eventually, it was going to be, okay, you're tied down on the middle of the ring, 3 seconds, and Turtle continue. That's what he was going to do. He was going to make sure you won eventually. And so you got lucky. All right, now it's time.
I beat you fairly. It's not my fault.
All of these ridiculous stipulations.
It's not Travis's fault, and it's not my fault that you decided to turn your back. You don't turn your back on your opponent. You are a good lawyer, but you're not a good wrestler.
Now go back and look at the tape there. We had an agreement. Okay, there wasn't supposed to be anyone in my corner. Now I did want to talk to Sheik and Schultz just before the match. And what happened? Well, Sheik came out, and out of the goodness of my heart and fairness, I said, Sheik, go back. And then Natasha Crane comes out there. You're the one with these shenanigans who needs the outside help. Like I said, completely unfair.
Did she get in the ring? Did she get anywhere near the ring?
She did not, and neither did Sheik. Sheik did not get in the ring.
She made sure Sheik didn't get near the ring.
I'm saying, Sheik, I got this. It's okay. We're doing this the fair way, and you're calling for outside interference. And Travis does nothing about this.
I did not call for anything. She was there making sure that you stay true to the stipulation. That was it. It's not my fault. You lost. Deal with it.
Buddy with her. I'm sure you had something worked out ahead of time. You guys were going to screw me out of the title, no matter what.
Look, I always have insurance.
Dude, it's nothing about it's nothing to do with the idea of screwing you out of your title. That's not my intention. It never was. And the thing is, when you look at cause and effect, the only reason you lost that title is because you took your mind out of the match. You focused yourself on Amazon, who was only out there because your guys, for some reason, even though they were banned from ringside, came out anyways. So you can sit here and you keep saying that I'm trying to screw you over and everything. And I get it. Aaron said in there that when he does take over, this could affect my job and everything. I'm trusting that it won't, because outside of you, nobody has a problem with what I'm doing. It's just you. And the only reason it's just you is because you're the one that lost your title. But you lost your title because you took your mind off the match, focused it outside the match, and you lost. And that's on you. And I'm sorry that you're upset that you lost. I really am. Because unlike what Turtle says, I do think you're a good wrestler. I think you're able to get in there and compete against anyone you want. You proved it against Eli last night, a guy that you claim had no idea what was happening, whatever, but you still won the match. You cheated, but you won the match.
I didn't cheat. I won that fair and square. There was absolutely no cheating last night.
You cheated.
How did I cheat? What did I do?
You grabbed his tights. I mean, dude, come on. I've been commenting.
What are you talking about?
Dude, you could watch the show. You can watch the match again on YouTube when it gets released.
Watch it back. I rolled him up. I got the pin. That's perfectly fair. There was nothing with tights. No idea what you're talking about.
You rolled up his shorts and you cheated, which is fine. I get it, because I know the kind of person you are. I've been around this business long enough as a fan and as a podcaster to realize how people are the way they are. But the thing is, you had the potential to be so much more, but you're not willing to do that. You'd rather take the cheap, short way through and just get that instant gratification instead of working for something. Nubby wants to work for something. You want it handed to you because some weird entitlement thing, because you came through the SCW school so quickly and you adapted to how the business works, and that's fantastic because you're an intelligent dude, and I respect the hell out of you for that. I can't respect the fact that you used your entire title reign to cheat your way to become champion, to keep that title, and then when you finally get a one-on-one fair match, you failed. And you want to come to me and say, well, I deserve a title match. I deserve a title match. When the whole idea is you get a title match, you go to the back of the line. Yes, I made an exception for Turtle. And you can look at it as biased all you want, but the fact is it was just making a right from a wrong.
Well, I want to know who exactly is in this line. Because who did you put Turtle against last night? Donovan Toretto, somebody who I don't think has ever won a match in SCW, no matter what goofy name he's had. I can't believe you gave him a title shot against Turtle before me.
He's on the high voltage roster.
Blatant unfairness.
He's on the high voltage roster. Why wouldn't I give him a title shot?
He's on the roster, but what did he do to deserve a title shot?
He's on the roster.
High voltage is a banana republic. That's right, Ryan. In the chat.
I don't care what Ryan says. I mean, that's fine. It doesn't matter what Ryan says, dude. If you're on the roster, you get a title shot. So when you sit there and wonder, like, who else is going to get a title shot before you? Well, I mean, I don't know, El Dorado, VJ, maybe, like you said, Logan Steele. Hell, maybe Kazile. Eli is now part of the roster. There's Johnny Chaos. There's Apex. Dude, it could be a long while before you have a match on you have a title match. It could be a very long time. And I want to sit here and say that I'm sorry that that's the case, but because of your attitude, I'm really not that sorry.
You said, I know the last podcast I was on, you said next year I would get a title shot. We're 2 months out. So I want that title shot in January. I can wait 2 months.
Yeah, or you can wait 13 months in December.
I'm going to review the contract on that.
You can review anything you want, man. It's fine. I mean, I'm sure
you're the reason why Aaron is hiring me to review that contract.
Well, like I said, because you're an intelligent lawyer, and because I'm sure if there's any loophole, you're going to find it. But I'm going to tell you right now, man. I know what the contracts say, and I get it. And I'm not a smart man, so maybe somebody could educate me more on it. But from what I understand, that's
the problem. You're not smart at all, Travis.
That's true. No, I admit it. I am an idiot. If there's two things that people should know about me, is I'm a huge fan.
That's the smartest thing you've said all morning.
Cool. You want to interrupt me again, or?
I might. Let's see where you're going with this.
Oh, God, you're such a douche. There's two things that people need to know about me. I am dumb as shit, but I'm honest. And when I tell you that the title matches are a discretion of me, that is what it is. You can't bully me into a title match. It doesn't work that way.
Well, apparently Turtle can. Why
I didn't wait.
Of Turtle?
I didn't bully him.
No.
He does everything you ask for, Turtle.
Not really. I mean, I didn't. It's not like he's putting me in matches where I can easily beat people. He put me in a match against Scott Spade.
You Toretto. The guy
No.
who's never won an SCW.
Look.
Again, he gives you an easy match like that. He gives you every
here's the
stipulation
thing.
in the world to win the title.
Here's the thing. VIP was easy. Donovan Toretto is better than VIP. He's actually getting better. So he what it wasn't an easy task. I was shell shocked. Okay.
Well, luckily, Aaron thinks that you could write in a contract, a title shot into your contract you're writing up. So that's all well and good. But Angel also wants a title shot at High Voltage next year. So that's also probably going to come before you. So I may have lied when I say you'll get a title shot next year, maybe 2025. My bad.
Hey, make it a triple threat match.
Contracts. I mean, that was a verbal agreement that we had last time that you promised me a title shot in 2024.
Brother, if you listen to any of the shows I have done in the last 6 years and everything I have said, it's all bullshit. Nothing I say can be a verbal contract, man. Come on now. How about I say a lot of things.
I might just have to take you to court and enforce that then.
Please do. The court's gonna look at me and like, this dude's insane. No, nothing he said.
Travis, if you think I'm accomplished in the ring, the last thing you want to do is go up against me in court, because I always win in court.
Hey, not in wrestling.
I that's true. You did lose the Turtle.
The courts are fair, at least.
Okay, I've seen courts. No, they ain't that fair.
Let me guess. So you're in court and you're pleading your case and everything, and then you have a bunch of your buddies come in and throw a bunch of fake evidence out for you to become victorious. I'm just assuming because your buddies help you win matches. So
no, I do nothing unethical in court. I am
just
that good. I know the law. I know my evidence. I know my case. Most importantly, I know the judges, and that is why I always win in court.
Yeah. See, there it is.
Yeah. Well,
he knows the judges.
You should know your general manager and know that this isn't a way to get ahead, in high voltage events. So, I mean, I would work on that. It seems like you have an attitude problem, and that alarms me because I felt you're better than this.
Yeah, well, I have an attitude problem when I'm getting screwed over, when people are unfair to me, and that's what's going on here.
No, there's a difference between getting screwed over and not getting your way. You're true. Bitching because you're not getting your way.
That is true.
Nobody's screwing you over, bitch.
100%. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, yeah.
You're like a child at this point.
Yeah, of course, the people doing the screwing saying it's all in my head, trying to gaslight me.
I'm not screwing you, brother. I have yet to ever screw you out of anything. I've given you opportunities to succeed, and you keep failing.
Yeah, an hour beforehand. I thought you thought you had El Dorado. Oh no, here's some random guy. Good luck. Yeah, you're not screwing me.
All you gotta do is be a better person. Is that so hard? Is there any lawyer in this world that could just be a better person?
Who cares about being a good person when I'm a great lawyer?
I guess so. Listen, Warren. I'm sorry that you have this opinion on me. I really do. You're the only one that has an opinion on me, except for maybe Stiff Biff and Wrestling Fan 1 or whatever. But, like I said, I mean, you have the ability to write up contracts and everything. Clearly, Aaron Xavier recommends you putting a title shot into your contract that you're writing for him. Feel free to do so. I don't care. You do what you want. That's what you've been doing since you got here, right? Do it your way, whether, it's shady or whatever. But the thing is, man, I'm going to run high voltage the way I see fit. And if you have a problem with it, you're going to have to either deal with it or, maybe move on.
Or I'll see you in court.
Sure,
Only
buddy.
Bitches say that.
Sure, buddy.
We get things done.
Well, hopefully I get to see you next month when the Amazing Turtle puts his title on the line against anyone but you.
That's fine. January. I want the title shot in January.
Okay.
And Aaron's now saying he can fire you after January. Great. Love it. I know Aaron will make sure I get a title shot.
Aaron, I don't think Aaron would really fire me over this. But Jesus Christ. Okay, Warren, it's good talking to you for what it is. And I'm sorry that we can never seem to find common ground, but it's probably because you're petty.
Wow. Like I said, I just want fairness.
I do too. You should
Stop
try
cheating.
it. Yeah, start with that. Start with wrestling a match on your own, and we'll see if we go from there.
I did that last night. I did that last night.
Give me that. Give me one win without using punitive damages or cheating, and maybe I'll move your title match up. Just give me.
Go and watch the match from last night. There was no cheating. Yeah, Eric was out there. He's my co-counsel. That's fine, but there was no cheating. You're the one who before was saying, "Oh, you have to hit people with a suitcase or a gavel." We didn't even have the suitcase or the gavel last night. I won fair and square. I think I proved I should get a title shot now.
Well, I'll tell you what. To everyone who's in this live stream who's listening to this, when the high voltage last night gets released up onto Southland Championship Wrestling YouTube channel, which I believe is going to be probably in a few weeks. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe I'll find a date and I can let you know. I want you guys to go back and watch High Voltage. I want you to watch Warren C Freiberg Esquire's match. And if you believe he didn't cheat, I will give him a title shot sooner rather than later. But if you did cheat, then just sit in line and wait.
All right. I like that. I think these people are pretty stupid, but I think they'll see in the end that I didn't cheat and I deserve this title shot.
Yeah. So it was a court of public opinion. Is that a thing, I guess, or whatever? So
it's like a jury. It's like taking my case to the jury. And I do very well in front of juries.
Perfect. Fine. So everyone who's in this live stream, I make sure you're following me on Facebook, Just Freaking Wrestling, or follow Southland Championship Wrestling on Facebook. And when you see the High Voltage show get released, go and watch the show. Go watch Warren's match. And if you feel he cheated, you comment on YouTube and tell him yes he did or no he didn't. And we'll just based on the majority vote, you'll get your title shot sooner or you'll get it later, depending on what their perspective is. Does that sound fair?
Let the jury decide.
You fine with that, Nubby?
I don't care. Just get him off the shit.
Well, I said it to everyone. I'll say it to you. Thanks for calling in, man. It was wonderful talking to you.
All right. We came to an agreement. I like this.
Yeah,
this was
see, because I'm a good person. Because I'm a good person.
I don't know about that. You get it right on occasion.
Oh, Jesus, Freiberg. I'll talk to you later.
My
God. Yeah, come on, Aaron. You can't fire me after January. Jesus Christ. God. Man.
Well, if he fires you, then we just don't cover SCW on JFW. I mean,
oh no, I would never not do that. I mean, come on now, man. I mean, I'm not you with Rocket Pro.
Hey, I was unjustifiedly fired. Okay,
right?
But that does not. Hey, that has nothing to do with SCW. So let's move on.
That's true. I don't see Aaron firing me and everything. Like I said, me and Freiberg may disagree and everything, but I think at the end of the day, he knows I'm doing a pretty good job in High Voltage. BJ, how you doing, sir?
Pretty damn beat up right now. My shoulder hurts, my back hurts, my knee hurts, my neck hurts. But guess what? I'm still standing. That's what matters.
Don't lie. You're sitting in your recliner. Come on, buddy.
Actually, Nubby, what I did do after I left the show last night, I got on a plane and I went to Malibu, California, which is where I'm at right now. The Christ Almighty is blessing you with his presence from Malibu, California. I'm just going to do a little recap of this show so far. You've had the great James Creed. You're being joined by Christ Almighty right now. Then you had Scarin' Aaron on earlier, Warren C. Freiberg, Esquire the Turd, and then the man that beat me last night, Dollar Store Big Show himself.
We had Logan Steele on to open up the live stream, and it's inspiring when a dude can sit here and say like, yeah, I'm calling in from the gym, which is spectacular. I should try that one day. I'm not calling in from a gym, just going to a gym. But dude, he definitely, and I mentioned this with him. It's not every day you see a guy who can match power to power with a guy like you. How was going into a match like that, man?
You know, going into a match like that is when you see someone that big, you kind of expect he's going to be able to match power with you. You just have to expect it. And last night, that's exactly what he did. That's what he did last time. Except this time, him with the help of Scott Spade got one over on the price. So now we're even. Now it's 1-1. And now, somewhere down the line, there's going to come the eventual rubber match.
Oh yeah.
And when that rubber match happens, I'm going to kick his ass.
Well, I mean, I know Steele doesn't want to admit to it, which is fine. It's his own opinion and everything. But being from commentary and watching from my perspective, we did see Scott Spade be involved in the finish. I was surprised you went to power slam him, knowing that he worked on your back pretty heavily. And I mean, I could see the pain that you were going through just trying to get through the ring with that amount of pain. But I mean, I respect you for trying to, power lift him and everything. Unfortunately, it looks like that was your downfall, and ultimately, again, Scott Spade holding your legs, preventing the kick out and everything. Luckily, Nubby was there to save the day, which I don't know how many times that's ever been said. But I mean, I guess
you're the hero.
Yeah,
You're the hero, Nubby.
Hero and a half shell. That's what they call me.
Jesus Christ, yeah, they do say that, don't they? But from what Nubby was saying before earlier in the show was the reason he came out is to kind of pay it back for what you did for him last month, which I mean that's a lot of respect to do that too. I mean when you look at a ring full of Logan Steele, Kazile, Scott Spade, Mistress Misery, and everything, it's like you wonder like who would want to go up against that, and obviously you're not really afraid to take on that challenge.
I'm not afraid to take on any challenge. Travis, I have been through so many challenges in my life. I can't be scared of those jackasses. It would just be a misservice to me, a misservice to the fans of SCW, a misservice to everyone in SCW who has had to go against the torture killers so far. Right now in SCW, we got Sabotage and we got the torture killers. Maybe the Price needs to put together his own group and go against those two groups. Right now, James Creed next month or whenever he's going to beat the hell out of Aaron Xavier. He's going to get that belt. Aaron's going to be out of here, hopefully. And now I got to do the same thing with the torture killers. And I'm going to start with Logan Steele. Get rid of him. Get rid of Scott Spade. Get rid of Mrs. Misery. And once again, beat the hell out of Kazile. And that's exactly what I think I should do. It'd just be the right thing because the Price always does what the right thing is. That's just what I do. That's what I've been doing from day one. That's what I did yesterday. That's what I did today. I'm going to do it tomorrow, next week, next year, next century, next millennium. Because the Price is eternal. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, dude, it's obviously an interesting situation because, like I said, when Logan was on, because I'm an idiot and I have no memory whatsoever, I know he quoted A Knight's Tale. I just can't remember what the hell he said.
Yeah, I heard all about it.
Okay. And obviously it's been stated by torture killers several times that they're not here to win. They're not here, they don't care about wins and losses. They care about hurting people. And it looks like the focus is on you because you got involved in their business last month. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate the hell of all of you for what you did. You saved my buddy from getting beat down by him. Johnny Chaos and Amazon are there too, and hopefully Natasha is healing up fairly well and makes a speedy recovery. But I guess the question I want to ask is, knowing now who you're going up against, was it worth what you did last month?
Hell yeah, it was worth it. A good fight's always worth it. I'm just at a loss for words, when it comes to the state of SCW right now, because you got two rogue groups trying to take over. Um, but that's just not what's going to happen, because at the end of the day, good always prevails over evil. Love always wins. It's just so much running through my head right now, man.
Yeah. Well, the quote from Steele was, "In what world could you have ever beaten me?"
Well, I beat him last month, so clearly this world.
I mean, he was stabbed with a fork.
By his own guy.
Oh, yeah, but a win's a win. And now,
A win is a win.
not only are they master manipulators or master liars, they're master gaslighters, because Logan was all over social media, all over Facebook, trying to make it seem like that the price cheated, and we all know that's not what happened. Last night, Logan actually had to cheat. And Logan was the one to cheat last night and get the victory over Price Almighty. Now I gotta wonder how he's gonna spend that back. I'm checking his social media. Yeah, I'm going back to it. I'm going back to it every hour on the hour. I'm stalking his posts. I just want to see what he says about it, so I can butt in and kind of remind people, hey, the people, that's not what happens. I'm sure he's gonna spin it in some kind of way like he did last month. Mm-hmm. He's been doing that ever since. This is what they do. I hate it.
Well, I know Aaron says here one group is trying to take over, referencing torture killers, but one group has taken over, which is sabotage. You've been...
Hold on. Hey, Aaron, shut the fuck up, all right?
Whoa! God, you know what I love? I love how, like, every time somebody comes on here, it gets more and more aggressive. And it's not me. Like, I've been pretty good on my cussing, and I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, because we cuss too much.
We cuss a lot, yeah. But I try to be a little more professional during these live streams, 100%. But solid. I mean, you gotta be careful though, VJ, because he did say that you'd probably be one of the people who get fired if he or when he takes over.
He wishes he could, and I wish he would. Just, Aaron, try it. Just try it. I promise there will be so much hell to pay if you do that.
Yeah. It's weird, honestly, like when you sit and look at it, because you were around during the SCW POW issues.
Mm-hmm. And I was around, I was around during that.
And it almost seems like when you look at it, like that was like a world war, where now it kind of seems like we're almost involved in like this civil war kind of thing. It's such as like almost three sides to it. When you look at like sabotage and their conflict with Terry or Hunter or Creed, or you look at the torture killers and their conflict with you and VJ and Chaos. It kind of seems like SCW's falling apart a little bit.
It does. But I know there will come a day where the torture killers are gone. They're going to crawl back to where they came from. Eventually, sabotage. Eventually, we're going to sabotage. So they implode, and then they F off. Yeah, I kept it clean for you.
I'm proud of you, buddy.
And there will come a day those groups are gone, and we can get back to our regular scheduled business. And that is beating each other up in the ring in the name of competition. And I absolutely love SCW. I love what it's done for me, and I love being in SCW. Mm-hmm. But the torture killers have got to go. Sabotage has got to go. And it's just so funny to me that in the center of each one of those situations, you got a graduate of the SCW school. With Sabotage is James Creed. With the torture killers is Your Price Almighty.
Well, and I think that's a credit to, first off, it's a credit to the training that Southland Championship Wrestling School can provide, but also kind of shows the passion that those students have for their company. And when you look at, guys like James Creed, guys like you look at El Dorado, Chaos, Apex, and everything, it's like you guys have pride in what you're doing, and it shows in your matches. But it also shows you guys have a pride for the company that helped get you to where you are today.
Indeed. Yeah, definitely. It does.
Yeah, and I know that when you sit and look at a group like Sabotage or a group like the Torture Killers, in a sense, it's like outsiders coming in and taking over what essentially is yours. So I guess I can see where you guys are coming from, but the thing is that you just got to be careful because look what Napoleon did.
Well, both me and James Creed, first of all, are way taller than Napoleon. So we don't exactly have a Napoleon complex. So that's not really much of an issue.
Well, not the complex, but the vast how he took over. The Huns. They just took over.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
the
Go
thing
ahead.
is, we've seen throughout history, in professional wrestling in general, these different groups arise and try to take over wrestling companies. Only one ever truly did that. And there hasn't really been any group ever that's taken over completely a wrestling company besides that one. And I think we all know what it was in the late 90s. This is why I just know that Sabotage, they'll never be able to fully take over SCW. Torture Killers, they'll never be able to fully take over SCW. It's just not going to happen. And as long as the likes of me, Johnny Chaos, James Creed, even Terry Hunter are all in SCW, I have faith in my heart, my soul, my mind that we will defend SCW. And I'm just glad to be a part of it because I really want to beat the hell out of Dollar Store Big Show the most. I don't really know why. I don't know if it's his bald head, his big beard. I don't know if it's that if he's like a 5X wearing a 2X singlet. I don't know what it is. There's just something about that dude I don't like.
Well, we know Terry Elise is president up until December 16th. So we know that the matches that he makes are probably going to be his last matches he makes for SCW. So maybe you could talk with him and get that, that rubber match against Steele, and maybe we'll see that in December. I believe it's going to be his call. I believe he wants that on the main card. I know that's been discussed that, obviously the issues between you and Steele aren't over. So that'll probably be a main card thing, which I'm okay with. I like to play fairly with others, regardless of what Freiberg says. But VJ, I do appreciate you calling in and talking with us, man.
And it's no problem, man. As I leave you guys, I'm looking over the Pacific Ocean right now. It's looking at the seagulls, and I'm looking at the beautiful women. Regardless of what happened last night, life is pretty good for the price.
Yeah.
And I'm just here to spread good energy throughout SCW, the Midwest, and professional wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, I would stay away from the oceans, man. They got sharks in them. And plus, last time I went to a beach, I had a bunch of animal lovers trying to roll me back into the ocean. So,
well, last time I went to the beach, I had a bunch of women rubbing all over my chest and other parts of my body, but I won't go into detail there. All right.
Yeah, no, they're trying to rescue me like they would any other whale. So, brother, I do appreciate you calling in and talking with us, man. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
And remember, on this night and every night, the price is always right.
Oh, that's always good. All right, I'm going to try to get this guy on and see what happens.
No.
All right. He tried coming. He tried to call in a little bit earlier, but I'm not sure if he's still available or not. You still there, man?
I'm still here.
You're still there.
Can you hear me?
Of course I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Long-time listener, first-time caller here to this particular situation. Do you understand what happened in the last 5 minutes of that show last night? Do you guys truly understand the repercussions that could end Southland Championship Wrestling as we know it?
So I've had the opportunity to talk with Aaron and James Creed earlier. Oh, and Angel earlier in the live stream, and I was able to get their perspective. Now, when you're as far away from the ring as I am, you really can't feel what's going on in there. I mean, obviously, I know you were right there. You saw everything. You felt everything. I know the stipulations. We talked about the stipulations. We talked about what is on the line and what could or will happen. But I'm more curious on your opinion, since I got you here. How did Terry feel about giving up his presidency to give James Creed a title shot?
The thing about what President Allen did last night, I had a feeling that his run as president was coming to an end as the calendar turns into 2024 anyway. He's been wrestling injuries, he's been involved in other battles. So Terry stepping aside at the end of 23 and yielding something different in 2024, I always thought was kind of an inevitable conclusion. However, last night, that enthusiastic crowd, the heart on his sleeve James Creed, goaded our president into making what could be an absolutely catastrophic decision. Now, I don't doubt that James Creed couldn't find a way to beat Aaron Xavier. That is a fight we have seen before, and we've seen Creed fare well as many times as he hasn't. But I'll tell you what, from the minute Aaron Xavier got his way into Southland Championship Wrestling via John Hudson all those years ago, this is a man that is the master of manipulation when it comes to the long game. I have been there. I have seen it. I have watched this horrifyingly destructive conductor create concertos of violence and desperation, weaseling himself into a promotion and then ultimately taking it over and changing it in his image. The crowd, Creed, even Hunter Paine left Terry Allen very little choice last night in the court, quote unquote, of popular opinion. But I've read this book before, Travis. I've been part of this story before in another place and another time. I'm telling you, when Aaron Xavier and Angel got here a few years back, this is why they came, because they knew the soft underbelly of this proud company at some point would be exposed for their taking, and now Aaron Xavier is taking his shot. And do you think it's a coincidence that the torture killers are doing things now, just kind of showed up as a faction out of the blue? Travis, this is all one big collusion situation, ending it with it called Sabotage Championship Wrestling.
I think it's kind of a coincidence how you talk about how Aaron Xavier took over another company somewhere that you happen to be involved in, and now it's happening again over here.
I'm telling you.
Brother, listen, I agree with you. I think this might have been his plan all along. I don't know. I should have asked him when he was on here if this was his plan from the very beginning. I'm sure the answer would have been yes. Aaron is a natural born leader. There's no say of who would be president with Aaron winning in January. But let me ask you then, because you know Aaron so well and you've watched him over the course of many, many years. Who do you see Aaron appointing as president of SCW once he's victorious in January?
That is a very, very good question. I mean, obviously, his first choice is an easy one. It would be him. He would be the first ever champion and president in the same body, perhaps. Or does he bring back an old friend? Will you see the King of Gains return to SCW and become president?
Yeah, it's been a while since we saw John Hudson, but maybe you'll be on the list, man. I wouldn't. You got some general manager experience and everything.
I do, but here's another thing. Down there at the ring last night, when this stipulation was put up, Angel said, and I quote, "You are the first person we fire, Steve." So I have no stake in this game because if Aaron wins, I'm gone. She said it.
It's good to know that when it comes to Angel's opinion, you're the first to be fired. When it comes to Aaron's opinion, VJ is the first to be fired. At least that makes me third on the list. So it makes me feel a little bit better.
Maybe he'll make you president and be in charge of you using fear and manipulation, which are two of his big strengths.
I mean, I do got the time in at SCW. I was overlooked for the presidency when the whole issue between Terry and Sentinel happened, and Keith, obviously, that I wasn't an option, even though I believe I should have been. But who knows? I mean, I think I'm doing pretty well with High Voltage. You've been there and you saw a few High Voltage. I think they're going pretty well. We have a pretty solid champion as well. So, I mean, why not? Why not, President Travesty?
It is.
You would be seduced by Angel.
No, there's no question. She is a master of seduction. There's no doubt about that.
Wait, yeah. What'd you say, Nubby?
You would definitely be seduced by Angel. I mean, we saw how googly-eyed you got at commentary when she was in the match, so we get it.
I mean, you're not wrong, but it's also she's terrifying. It's hard. I'm not going to dispute anything she says, but yeah, you're 100% right. If I was president, and she said to do something, there's like a 98% chance I'd say yes, and like 2% chance I'd be like, do I really have to? Okay, fine. I know who I am. I don't hide it. Huge fan of Angel and Aaron Xavier and all of Sabotage. Like I said, yeah, the things they do aren't always right, but you know what? They have results, and you can't fault them for that. Yeah, Steve, I got so many questions I want to ask you because you don't really call into the live streams. I know you listen to them, which I appreciate, but you don't really call
I just really want people to understand that next month at the Christmas show, when the contracts are signed, there's no way out. You have succumbed to the ploy and the plan of Aaron Xavier, and it will unfold accordingly. And even Hunter Paine, who is SCW, bleeds it, eats it, sleeps it, it's his, could find himself fired immediately from his own company. That's the scope of this thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a realization, and the three of us who are on this call right now, plus all the wrestlers who are listening right now, no matter what, after December, or after January's match, technically, there's going to be a new president of SCW. It's like I mentioned, like it's not a, if Aaron wins, he gets to pick, and if he loses, Terry stays. Terry's gone. After December, Terry is gone. And like Nubby said, in January, we technically don't really have anyone in charge. But following that match, we will have a new president, and the track record of presidents in SCW hasn't been that great. President Keats was fantastic in the beginning, and then he kind of let the power go to his head and started developing an ego. Same thing with Sentinel. I think before he was Sentinel, he was Gino or something like that. He let the power go to his head, and look what happened to him. And Terry it kind of happened the same way with him. Terry allowed the power to get to his head and started making things a little personal. Regardless if he wants to believe it or not, he did. So that position really brings the worst out in people sometimes. So I guess it really doesn't matter who wins or who loses in January. Aaron already openly admitted that when he assigns a new president, they're going to be what's best for Sabotage. If for some reason, I know Aaron hates when I say that, but if for some reason they don't win and somebody else is appointed by Terry, I don't know a lot of clean, straight people that Terry knows that won't also use SCW for their own personal gain. Because Terry kind of has a shady group of friends as well.
You certainly might get another Windy City icon. Maybe C Red is Terry's successor. They go way, way back.
Nah, C Red, come on. C Red's done next month. You know that.
Hey, you know what? When Windy City reaches out to Windy City, regardless of career status, there's always something that could change.
Yeah. Well, we know it's not going to be me because, like I said, I don't think I'm on the top of either list. Which I mean, it's fine. I think what I'm doing in high voltage works. But you know what? You know, Steve, let me ask you one more question while I have you on here. Because I hope you guys talk about it on the Power Hour this Tuesday night. How do you feel about the Jazz Mercer match?
That was my favorite match of the evening. In fact, I could go anywhere and see those two guys fight and have that be my favorite match because they are so physically gifted and such wonderful storytellers. Obviously, with the Beantown jackass interfering with things. By the way, I still have a receipt coming for you, moron. I would watch Miles Mercer and Acid Jazz. I would pay to see that anywhere. That is gold every damn time, and I hope they do run it back. It was kind of a wacky ending to be sure, but you know what? You could run that match 10 times, and it could end differently 10 out of 10 times. So I love those two guys. Fantastic.
It was interesting because when the card or the match was posted up on Southland, C Red commented on it. Obviously, being a long history with both guys and everything, he couldn't really pick one, which I don't blame him. I mean, obviously the history he has with Acid Jazz and Miles Mercer is well documented between ARC and Soul Touchers. But it's weird because when you look at the personality of both men, which sometimes they have a negative attitude, sometimes they have a positive attitude, but you can tell that the positive attitude between the two are very similar, and you kind of tell that they're kind of almost cut from the same cloth, if you will. Actually, and it was even like where Cowboy Chris James mentioned on commentary that he actually wouldn't mind seeing those two team up against Dysfunction. So what's your thoughts on an Acid Jazz Miles Mercer tag team?
Oh, I mean, sell me a T-shirt right now for that tag team. I mean, that's spun gold. Here's the thing: from the Soul Touches to the ARC, these two men, whether they like it or not, have C Red's thumbprint on them because obviously C Red managed and was a Soul Toucher, and C Red managed and is part of the ARC. So these are all products that C Red has a great deal to do with as not only an architect, but as a card carrying member. So, a lot of the mythologies and strategies that C Red does in general were used at length by both groups. So, of course, there are going to be similarities. I find that Miles Mercer reminds me of a young Acid Jazz from back in the Shakara days. You hear Red talk about it all the time on the Power Hour. Would they be a great team? They might be unbeatable champions.
Mm-hmm. I can agree with that. Nubby, anything you want to add or say to Steve before we let him go and we end this live stream?
No, actually, I got nothing to say to him except good morning, sir.
Good morning, champ. It's good to see you. I see the New England dipshit just piped in. Benny, I have a message for you. December show is coming back at Steam Hollow, and you keep flapping your gums, and this time maybe I bring my wrestling boots.
I've seen what you can do in a man, and you can definitely hold your own in that ring. So.
Oh man, I'll beat the clam chowder of that stiff.
Steve, thanks for calling in, man. You enjoy the rest of your morning.
Hey, you guys have a great day. Love your show. Thanks for having me to be a part of it.
Yeah, thanks, man. You take care. Of course he does. Okay. Okay, this is going to be really interesting. So, see if it comes through. Oh, jeez. Hunter, I know you're trying to call in, man. So, there you are. Dude, okay, I'm going to tell you this right now. You have 4 minutes. So, if it cuts off, it's not on me and it's not against you.
I know. So I just have one question for you.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Did your fucking jaw hurt?
Does my jaw hurt? No.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Yeah, I didn't get struck in the mouth. Why?
Turtle, you know where I'm going with this?
Yes.
I'm ignoring where you're going with this, man. Listen, okay, just because I'm trying to stay, positive and unbiased to not only save my own job, but prevent an ass kissing or ass kicking. It's self-preservation at this point, Hunter.
I mean, you should just rename it Sabotage Roundtable.
Honestly, after January, it's
You
very
talk to
possible I
Turtle,
might
you
have
talk
to.
to Turtle, you talk Sabotage. You talk VJ, you talk Sabotage. You talk Hunter Paine, you talk Sabotage. Can you get through an interview without mentioning Sabotage?
Well, here,
Or Angel. Or
I'm,
Aaron.
I'm
It'd
glad.
be fucking great if you could.
I'm glad you're bringing that up because here's the thing, man. Well, obviously, I talked to Angel and Aaron. You have to talk about Sabotage. That's a given. I wasn't the one that brought up Sabotage when VJ was on. He's the one that yelled out at Aaron. No, that wasn't on me. Freiberg, same thing. He brought up Sabotage because he's the lawyer for Aaron. Dude, everyone has a connection to Sabotage.
Someone brings up Sabotage, all you say is Angel. And what about Aaron? You go, Angel.
Because she is
the. Like, what about dysfunction? You go, Angel.
Because she's 2-time women's champion, bro.
Come on, bro.
2-time women's champion, and she terrifies the hell out of me. Obviously,
you need to stick your head in the freezer when this is over. That's all I'm saying. Your jaw's got to be swollen like a fucking chipmunk.
Listen, man, I get you're not happy with the fact that the entire live stream is based around talking about Sabotage and everything, but you can't argue with the fact that Sabotage has spread across SCW and
before you cut me off and end it like you always do when I call.
I gave you a warning, brother.
I read some comments on the bottom of this, right?
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, absolutely.
So you have two heel factions that are running rampant, and the Torture Killers and Sabotage.
Yeah.
Logan, if Scott Spade sees you giving up the main roster to Sabotage, me knowing Scott Spade, not going to be happy with that.
No, I definitely think Logan Steele definitely spoke out of turn.
I think he did.
Yeah. But it'll only be temporary. Dude, like I said, right now we're not seeing any, altercation between the Torture Killers and Sabotage, but it almost seems
I'm trying to stir the pot. That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh, I know. Dude, trust me. People accuse me of doing it, but it happens more often outside of me than anything else. But dude, you really need to call in earlier on these live streams so we can actually sit down and chat.
Well, dude, the first time I called in, you cut me off. The second time I called in, you literally hung up on me to take someone else's call.
It was Logan Steele, man. Come on. Jeez.
And by the way, if Aaron does get power, he can do whatever he wants. But one thing he can't do is take ownership from me. That he can't do.
That's an interesting thought. I don't think he may have realized that. And again, I said to Creed, you're gonna have to really watch that contract that's being made out because I know Freiberg's gonna have his hands in it.
Not only is that contract will be looked over, I will spend every minute of every day with Creed until that match to make sure Aaron doesn't walk out of there with that title. Terry, by the way, was strongly against this. He did it for the fans and he did it for Creed.
No, he made a huge sacrifice, and I hope Creed really appreciates it. We're down to the last 15 seconds, man, so I gotta let you go.
Peace.
Thank you, man. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Turtle, we can't really do the close, so that's all I got. As always, I am Travesty. This is Amazing Turtle, and thank you for tuning in to another live stream of JFW, Just Freaking Wrestling, the JFW Podcast.